My name is Lola and I am currently 25 years old. I was told that I cannot allow any man into my life because I have been in a relationship with a spirit man since I was 15. It started in my hometown in Ito. Ito is a very peaceful land. The people flourish and they have various fun activities during their festive periods. My father would sometimes tell me and my younger ones these fun stories about his hometown, and we would always look forward to visiting the village. Little did I know that my life would take another turn if I visited the land of Ito. We lived in the big city and my father came from a village called Ito. When I was 15, my parents decided to visit my father's hometown because it has been over 15 years that they both visited. Although he do call his relatives who lived there from time to time. Me and my two younger ones, Femi and Titi, who are twins, were very happy to visit the land of Ito because of what we have heard from our father. The day we left for the village, I already wrote down things to do and places I would beg my parents to take me and my siblings to because I wanted to enjoy my stay for the 1 week we were to spend. The thought of meeting my cousins and far relatives who would be around my age was exciting too. I kept asking, "Mommy, are we close to the village?" She would laugh and say I should close my eyes and by the time I opened them, we are there. I would frown at her way of making me shut up. When we arrived, we were greeted by my uncle who is the eldest child of my grandparents from my father's side, and other relatives who stayed close by came to welcome us. The compound was very big. It had several buildings and it was spacious too. My two uncles and auntie occupied those houses with their children. After we were settled, I was looking forward to disturbing my parents so we would start fulfilling what I wrote in my little book. It was night time and after our dinner, all the children in the family gathered around a fire and we were told a story by our grandma. We laughed at grandma's stories and all the other children were nice to us. Soon it was time to sleep and our grandma made everyone say their goodbyes and we all went inside the house. The next day, we were told to attend the early morning prayers. That was new to me because we don't do that in our house in the city. I felt like my sleep was being interrupted so I grumbled but still had to go with my siblings. It lasted for 30 minutes and I rushed back to sleep. By the time I woke up, it was 8 a.m. Everyone was up and busy, somewhere at the kitchen, which is at the right corner of the compound. I already felt hungry and then I saw my mom in the kitchen. I joined and said my greetings to my aunt who was with my mom. My aunt's daughter was also there. She was a little taller than I was, so I knew she would be older from the moment I saw her doing grandma's story from the previous night. Her name is Tolani. We were both sent to get egusi from a nearby market. I was told it's just 2 streets from us. While going, Tolani kept pointing towards her friends and introducing them to me. She would say, "Good morning, Funke. My cousin visited from the big city. Her name is Lola. She's so beautiful." The person would then hail me, saying, "Welcome, Lola. Where is our city bird?" I would just laugh, and she did same to a few other persons till we got to the market. We paid for the egusi and was about leaving when I saw a boy around my age staring at me. It was too much, so I had to call on Tolani's attention. What surprised me is that the boy was not there anymore when Tolani looked at his direction. She even thought I made it up. On reaching home, I went inside the room and thought about the little boy I saw and the look he had on his face. It was scary. I had always liked to write, so I brought out my small book and wrote down my experience, starting from the previous day, which is my day 1 in the land of Ito, and also that day experience in the market. The day went on quickly. We visited the royal house with gifts my parents brought and we were treated with respect and loved from the king. When we left the palace, I saw the same boy outside the palace, but this time, he was looking inside the palace, not at me. I thought to myself, maybe he's staying here or also came to visit with his parents. I wasn't scared because I had my mom and dad with me, but curiosity made me ask my uncle who followed us to the palace. I asked him, "Who is that boy standing over there looking at us?" But I got the shock of my life. My uncle didn't see anyone standing there, but I was still seeing him. All of a sudden, my uncle acted like something clicked in his head, and he quickly told my parents that we should head home without any delay. My parents were surprised because my uncle liked discussing when walking. He's usually the one who would slow the others down. So we had to rush home. Who did you say you saw outside the palace? My uncle asked immediately we got home. Everyone, including my parents, was watching to hear what I would say. When we got home, my uncle called for a meeting and everyone elderly in the family was present, and I was the only child there. It was a boy. He looked my age, but that was not the first time I saw him. I saw him yesterday at the market when we went to buy egusi. My uncle told my parents that first thing the next day, we should head back to the city. My parents agreed too, and that's how my stay in the land of Ito was cut short for reasons I don't know. How can a boy I saw make us leave immediately? I was so pissed because I have not achieved my plans of experiencing different fun activities in the land of Ito. Or is there more to it that they are not telling me? I was dismissed from the meeting while they continued to talk. I went to the window to peep so I could hear something at least that would make sense to me. My dad was saying something about it cannot be his daughter, and my uncle replied, since we are leaving, nothing would happen. I went to my room and wrote my experience in my little book and arranged my bags after helping my younger ones arrange theirs. I knew they were at my aunt's house in the same compound, probably playing with her children. I felt a cool breeze blow towards my face and I thought it would rain soon, so I decided to close the windows and lay down a bit. And that was the beginning of another chapter of my life in the land of Ito. I saw myself walking in the garden and it had flowers I have not seen before. I was amazed by the beauty of the garden. I heard my name. Then I saw a woman with a very beautiful gown coming towards me. I walked backwards and I suddenly became scared as she walked closer to me. She noticed my fear and came to a halt in front of me. She spoke first as I was so tensed to speak. How have you been, my friend? She said. I was shocked, but I had to laugh. Ma, I don't know you, yet you call me your friend. We are not even age mates. I am 15 and you are probably in your 20s. The lady who was taller than me bent towards me as if she was examining my face. She said, you look a little bit different this time. Your husband won't like it. What are you talking about? I'm the wrong person. Like I said, I am 15. I don't have a husband. This time she did the laughing and said with a low voice, you are actually 28 in our world. My duty is to walk you through the door you see behind me. I turned and saw a door in one of the trees that had beautiful flowers. I was shocked because it wasn't there before. This was becoming serious and it dawned on me it was a dream. I just wanted to wake up because it was getting weird. She grabbed my hands tightly and I tried removing it, but to no avail. She then dragged me through the door. I kept shouting. She said she wouldn't hurt me, that I should remain calm, but I didn't listen. I kept calling on my mom and dad for help, as if they could come into my dream. The moment I passed through the door with her, I wasn't the 15-year-old looking Lola. I looked more beautiful and mature. She left my hands and made a quick bow to me. Then she said, all hail Her Majesty. All of a sudden, I saw flowers turning to people and they all bowed to me. And just then, a guy walked in and held my hand. I was so shocked and scared at the same time. I could not move nor speak. He looked like the older version of the guy I saw at the market and also at the palace. He called me his queen and I quickly removed my hands. And he said, don't worry, my queen. You'll remember everything soon. He said and vanished with everyone that was there. I woke up to see my parents and relatives all crying, calling my name. They said I wasn't breathing for a while. It's been 2 hours since they got a call from my siblings who came into the room and noticed I wasn't moving nor breathing. They have been praying for me to wake up. I was shocked because it felt like I slept for just 30 minutes. This suddenly became more serious than I thought. I then looked towards my window that I closed before sleeping, and I noticed it was dark already. Was I really out for 2 hours? I asked myself. And what sort of dream was that? While I was still looking at the window, even though my mind was on all I have experienced, I noticed a figure looking at me from outside. I looked closely and it was him, the little boy. It felt like he was staring into my soul. I called out to my family that the boy from the palace and the market is outside my window looking at me. They all turned and saw no one. As they were rushing to try to close the window, it dawned on me that this was not a joke and I really needed to leave this village. Suddenly, the land of Ito that I wished to come to became a place I could not wait to leave.